business, economy, and development. With global digital reach, we connect Africa's pulse to the world stage. Welcome to Silk News Television, and here we'll go beyond the headlines. From breaking news, in-depth conversational programs, to market analysis and indices. From policies affecting growth to unique documentaries, from live event coverage to bespoke productions, we deliver content that connects you to the world. At Silk News Television, we provide news surrounding business, economy, and development, infomercials and jingles that stand out, short and long-form documentaries crafted to international standards, independent production spaces with full technical support, special coverage for individual and corporate events, a special form of documentaries through our prestige package, Immortals, where we tell your story the way you'd love it, and business support services tailored for small enterprises. Silk News TV, powered by FemWatch Limited, also home to the Isle 95.9 FM Lagos and Kasua 99.7 FM Kano, and Emirate News Television Abuja, together forming Africa's trusted media powerhouse. Storytelling, coverage, and connection that matters. Silk News TV, your home for business, economy, and development.
The National Assembly, in collaboration with the African Development Studies Center, ADSC, held a 5-day national capacity building workshop on treaties, agreements, and protocols for federal MDAs, with the theme, Enhancing Institutional Capacity for Effective Treaty Negotiation, Implementation, and Oversight in Nigeria. Honorable Barrister Rabiu Yusuf, Chairman of the House Committee on Treaties, Protocols, and Agreements in the 10th Assembly, highlighted the importance of strengthening the skills of key government officials in treaty processes.
At this particular moment of our country, we need a situation whereby all the stakeholders involved in external engagement with other countries, particularly state and the federal governments, and mostly MDAs of the at national level, to ensure that they are aware, they know what it takes, they know how it will be, and they know what it takes to ensure the institutionalized democracy and the legal approach as far as ratification, engagement, domestication of treaties. That is why the 10th National Assembly, under the able leadership of the Right Honorable Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, mandated our committee, pursuant to Section 12 sub 2 of the Constitution, that we should reach out to all necessary stakeholders who are personally stakeholders on this engagement to ensure they know how it takes and they know how to execute it. Basically, that is the reason we are conducting this exercise.
Actually, I think there is no point for me to deliver my remark at this time, because I'm very much aware that my remarks have been delivered instead of extension. So in either words, I will just say I really sincerely appreciate your presence in this program, and I believe it will go far in helping the system, stimulating the system, and work for the Nigerian progress. So I wish you a fruitful discussion and a successful outcome. Thank you very much.
The major challenge, everybody is going silo, in the sense that we are not trying to bring ourselves into the same table to ensure that before you find any entity, be it state, local governments, or federal entity, as far as engagement is concerned with other outside worlds, you need to know there are provisions of the Constitution which you need to comply. Failure to comply with that provision of the Constitution, whatever you do, it will go to a nullity, invalid, and is inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. And to the extent of that inconsistency, it is null and void, and of no effect whatsoever. So we're trying to avoid this scenario whereby at national level or at international fora, Nigeria will be embarrassed because the stakeholders, the principal actors, they didn't even know what they are doing. So that is why we decided at this particular moment it is rife and necessary to ensure that we engage with unnecessary stakeholders. That is the basic reasons for engaging these activities. Actually, I recommend their effort to any other entity, because if you can see, most of them, they are legal luminaries. They know their onions, they know what they are doing. So I really appreciate. They did a very wonderful job, and I sincerely appreciate. That's the reason, main reason that I say I need to be here in Lagos, at least to supervise the happening in Lagos, and I'm impressed. You know, engagement with outside world it is two ways. It is going to be either bilateral or multilateral. So with this kind of workshop or with this kind of discourse, we believe the principal actors will now know what it takes to enter a treaty. And if they comply with what they are taught in this session, if they advise their principal when they go back to their respective MDA on the right way to go, I believe most of the treaties will be legally binding in Nigeria, provided they follow the procedure laid down by the Constitution. The future is bright. And the future, you know, we will ensure in the future that all the treaties, all the agreements, all the international protocols are being observed to the latter, are being protected and imposed as it is enshrined in the Constitution. And with this kind of workshop, we believe we will create a series of avenues whereby we will engage other parties, other necessary stakeholders. We just set the ball rolling, and we will be there, inshallah.
Also sharing insights on the workshop, the clerk of the House Committee on Treaties, Protocols and Agreements discussed the value of the training in improving the understanding and application of international agreements across MDAs. He noted that the engagement served as an eye-opener, equipping participants with tools for more effective negotiation and oversight.
I'm a Nigerian, I'm a citizen of Nigeria, and I want Nigeria to benefit from its interaction with international community, and it starts from things like this. For us to be able to interact well, we need to know what it entails to engage in the international community. When we are talking about treaties, what does it entail to enter into treaties? How do we do that? How do we negotiate? How do we implement? How do we oversight as a parliament? So it is my duty as a clerk of the committee to advise the chairman and the committee members on how to go on all these issues, and also very instrumental to the organization of this workshop today. Our partners, the facilitators, are very, very excellent. We appreciate them, and it's also a collaborative effort between us and them. And so far, so good. What we have ensured so far has been fantastic. The participants are very, very impressed. I myself am impressed. And I also there are some things I'm taking home. For instance, now, Nigerians used to think before that our negotiators who negotiate treaties will just go abroad, go on tea party, shopping, but it's not the case. By what I'm seeing here now, I can see experts, technocrats who know their honors, who take the bull by the horn and do what it's supposed to do. That one has been established. Even our facilitators can attest to that as well. Another thing is that the quality of ideas being shown and being given us here is very, very apt to our situation presently, so that we can apply in our situation in Nigeria. And going forward, if this lesson continues, it's going to impact a lot, because the MDs, many of the MDs are here, even state governments, like Kogi state government is here, the SSG is here, the Attorney General of Plateau State was also here, and also from some top directors in the federal MDA, they are here. So it's a high-class, high-level engagement workshop. We are in a political environment, I must tell you that. But we, technocrats, are supposed to be the advisors and movers of policies. So they don't need to bend. They need to stick to the rule. And I also to advise our government, our leaders, that as well as they are making policies, they should also consider the benefits, the interest of the country, not just politics. They should not play politics with it. They should consider the interest of the country first, and also the people. It's an appeal that everybody that has a responsibility to do, either in the public service, or in private sector, in government, do your responsibility as much as you can, in a good faith, in sincerity, don't put your personal interests above national interests.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my pleasure to be here to make a closing remarks forward on behalf of His Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, 10th National Assembly, Right Honorable Tajid Abbas. He has mandated me to deliver this goodwill closing remarks. We appreciate your time, your dedication, and your efforts in trying to attend this program and attentively pay attention to the discourse and the further issue being deliberated here. And it is believed that this message you have learned here, or what you have learned here, will be passed towards your chief executive officers, and at the same time you will guide them achieving the necessary mandates in deciding issues of treaties, obligation of treaties, and what have you. So at this juncture, on behalf of the Right Honorable Speaker, we wish you a safe return to your various destinations, and we believe you will pass the message to all other necessary stakeholders. Thank you very much.
At the Africa Development Studies Center, ADSC, we are committed to driving sustainable growth and development across Africa through innovative training and research. Our mission: empowering leaders, policymakers, and professionals with the tools they need to create lasting change. With customized training, dynamic research programs, and study exchanges on leadership, management, and other critical development topics, ADSC offers a platform for exchanging cutting-edge ideas and global best practices. We provide comprehensive services in research and consultancy, capacity building and training, education programs, publishing and knowledge sharing. Our esteemed faculty, composed of seasoned experts and researchers, ensures a learning experience that is insightful and practical. We specialize in policy development, implementation strategies, and monitoring and evaluation. At ADSC, learning is engaging and enjoyable. Our unique methodology includes talks, interactive exercises, games, video screenings, and lively seminar discussions, all in a comfortable and friendly environment. For more information, email us at info@adstudiescenter.com or call +234 912 039 2362. Visit our website www.adstudiescenter.com to explore our programs and upcoming events. Africa Development Studies Center, rethinking development for Africa.
My name is Muiba Wonu Folami, an indigenous of Lagos State, Ikorodu, to be specific. I was born in Lagos 86 years ago, and to the glory of God, I'm still alive and well, and trying to be a relative in the cause of women. I attended primary school. I started at Ansarudin Alakuru School. From there to CMS Girls School, and then Queen's College, Lagos. From Queen's College, I went to the Portsmouth College of Technology for my A-levels, and then University of London for my first degree in law. the same university for my master's degree in law. I had, between obtaining my master's and my first degree, I was in Nigeria to do the mandatory law school course. I was one of the last people to do a 3-month course before it was changed to 1 year. And then went back to England for my master's. And from there to lecture at the University of Zambia. Back to Nigeria, I was appointed by Dr. Taslim Elias, the CJ of Nigeria, to the Commission for Advance Notice to Lawyers of Developments in Law. It was a commission funded by the Ford Foundation to keep lawyers abreast of the developments in law. I was a director there. Then from there, I was admitted to the Federal Ministry of Justice. After being legal advisor to many ministries, I ended up as the Director of Public Prosecutions for the Federation. And after that, whilst I was the Director of DPP, I was appointed Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Lagos State. After retirement, I've been involved in social work, in religion. I've always had religion, but I spend more time on religion. I read, I watch telly, and I live a good life to the glory of God. You see, when you begin to think that it was not until 2007 that women started to get equal pay in tennis tournaments. And it was something that was fought for. Little things like that does not add to equality. But when it was done, it may be small, but at work, even at work in employment, women are still discriminated against. And most women do 2 jobs. They look after the home, and they do the normal work that a man does in an office. Why I fail to understand this inequality in the treatment of women is that the work, the responsibilities in the workplace is not reduced for women, even though we do not want to be paid the same salary as men. It's a fight that has continued, and in that area, I think we need to do more to push for more recognition. Women have contributed immensely to the society. The men that are now resisting equal pay were brought up by women. Exactly. That's what I do not understand, that they can think like that. We continue to push.
But how can we speed this up?
By bringing it to the attention of world powers, recognition by every country of equal opportunities, equal pay. I want to know, I want somebody to explain to me the jobs that women cannot do.
Yeah.
They've contributed immensely. Even in the new thing, IT, we're at par with men. So I do not see the reason for it. Unfortunately, I did not experience it because when I left university, I practiced law briefly in my uncle's chambers before I went to University of Zambia as a lecturer. There, my position was enhanced in the sense that I was a foreigner and I got all the benefits of being a foreigner, serving in their service. Fortunately, in Nigeria today, the federal government does not discriminate in terms of salaries. Whether you're a man or a woman, you get the same salary scale. And you are promoted on equal basis. Kudos to the federal government, to Nigeria for that. But in the private sector, things are different. In some companies, this is the area that we have to work on because the job content is the same. Some of these facilities are available in Nigeria. I learned by being a member of the Society for the Disabled that every government body must admit a certain percentage of women and of disabled people. So most times this opportunity is not taken. They are bound to employ them. We continue to push for that to be implemented in most ministries. It's important because it's there. You have to take a certain percentage of disabled people to work in government positions. It's important that we work to enforce that rule in our society. When it comes to discrimination, Nigeria is way, way ahead of some developed countries because we, through slavery, we faced discrimination right from the beginning. We now know how to resist it. But in my country, Nigeria, in the federal government, in the state government, there is no discrimination. It may happen in private organizations, but they must continue to push to let them understand that the job content is the same. Well, you see, traditionally, under our culture, women are in the other room. To borrow the quotation.
Yeah.
That's our society, that's our culture. It's going to take a long time to evolve. In my time, female education was not so-called popular. It's only the educated few that strove to send their children to school, their girl child to school. They end up trading with their mothers or going to market and getting married off early. But as education began to rise in our community, its value was seen by my parents and others of their contemporaries to educate the girl child. And I believe the society is benefiting from that. So we must continue to push for the education of women, of girls. I have thought that, you know, when I read that, the certain state government has appointed look at our National Assembly, 4 women in the Senate. Isn't that shameful? And that is the society. We have to continue to push women up. Let these political parties know that we want women. Let us organize ourselves to continue to vote for women massively. I give kudos to our governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. His cabinet is, women is well represented in his cabinet. And I enjoy that, I love him for that, and I continue to urge him to do more. He's done a lot. I think Lagos State has the largest representative of women in cabinet. First of all, they have to project themselves in their office space, their workspace. Let everybody know that they are equal to the task. Let us organize. There's a lot of society groups and societies that cater for the interests of women. I believe now violence against women is reducing in the society because there are sanctions for such behavior. I must say that speaking to the organization in charge of violence against women, I was amused to learn that some men come there to complain and that they are also being violated and abused.
Yes, it's a two-way thing.
It's a two-way thing. So that is reducing our society. Education of the girl child is important. We have to let the locals know that education is important. Let them showcase to them the lives of those who have been educated and who are holding high positions. I'm glad that our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has returned history to the classrooms. It's important. Let them know about people that have contributed to the development of our society and country. It's important. Yes, it's education. It's education. Once people are educated and they know that there is nothing a man can do that a woman cannot do when it comes to the workplace. We have women engineers, miners, and also all of that. Give me a job specific that a woman cannot do, then I'll change my views. So the moment you begin to upgrade education, let government now continue to vote more for education. I don't believe we are doing enough. There is a UN convention, and I think Nigeria is part of that convention, that a certain amount of a nation's income should be devoted to education. I'm not sure whether Nigeria is complying with that. But some states are better than others. And we must, education, I believe in education of the girl child. Some states now are taking girls off the street, hawking completely prohibited. Things like that will help. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we are not advanced enough to use our votes to change things. We are still not voting for individuals. We are voting for parties, irrespective of performance. Education will help. And when we join other nations for the same purpose, we get results. Our organizations who are fighting for women in Nigeria should join worldwide organizations to showcase our own situation and learn. I believe that when you talk to others, you come back with ideas on how to improve things. So we must improve things by telling women in positions to show, to continue to prove that they are more than up to the task. It will not come to us on a platter of gold. We must show by our actions and behavior that we are up to the task. Of course, some women are wrong in claiming equal rights to their husbands in the house. I completely abhor that behavior. Even though they are husband and wife, the man in my culture remains the head. He should be respected. His views should be respected. It's only now the condition of living is so high that you join the two incomes together to run the house. In the past, it was the men that ran the house to pay for everything. Maybe some of these women are thinking that because they are contributing a quota to the development, that they have equal rights. Yes, they have equal rights on the upbringing of the children in their homes and everything. But respect is important. That will keep the home, and the children will learn and imbibe it into their own children too. Equal right does not, in my view, mean that you can be good, can not submit to your husband's wishes. Equal right means something differently. Respect comes out of it. It's important. I go out and I'm like appalled at the way women dress. There's a competition to show as much of your body, to do as much of your body that you can. It's absolutely disgusting. They're not women. They're no longer women. The exposure, things that if you did in my time, a member of the community will cover you with a cloth and send you home. Because community mattered at that time. You dare not misbehave outside your compound because this community is watching you and reprimanding you if you go wrong, if you behave badly outside. That is law. And that is why you see people, even their dressing, show disrespect to womanhood and to themselves and to the community. We must learn, teach our children etiquette of dressing, speech, how to think and speak in a decent manner. We don't have it anymore. We're losing it, and it's shameful. because people are appreciating naked women on the streets. Both sides. If people dress badly and you tell them and ignore them, they won't try the next time. For instance, I believe nobody can dress to come to my house or to come to my party like a naked woman. I will turn her back. I will turn her back. So that's the type of thing that we should all do. Let the people doing this know that we do not appreciate things like this. When the society itself corrects it, we must correct it individually. We should, if their parents cannot correct it, we must, by ignoring them and not allowing them to come near us. Show our women that have contributed to the society. Yeah. Show them, showcase them, showcase them.
Yeah.
We have the first woman senior advocate of Nigeria. We have Okonjo-Iweala. We have, in the UN. We have all sorts. We have what's this pharmaceutical woman? She's done so much. The younger ones are there. Little ones like Shadi Okoya is managing her husband's company and doing well. Let's encourage them. They are young. The young ones, they are working to improve the society. There's so many of them out there. We should showcase them. Let them know that we have women who are of top quality, intelligent, and well-behaved, and they dress well. Dressing well is dressing in a manner that is appealing to the eyes, not nakedness. That's my darling, this new CJN of Nigeria.
Okay.
Who do that? I did talk about Kekere. I mean, we're there. Female CJN. Yeah. And there are so many female chief judges all over the Federation. There are so many in the medical profession, in the engineering profession. We have pilots. So let them know that there is nothing that a woman cannot do. In IT, in everything, women are moving forward. We should showcase them. We should let their pictures be seen in our newspapers, in our news, in everything, to encourage young girls that you too can get there. If they don't see, and if they don't know the history of these women, how they got there, they too will not be inspired. We have to inspire the young people with the achievements of women achievers. Kekere rose from magistrate to right to the top. I admire her. She's well composed, well behaved. Some of these people, when they become something, they lose their heads. They start to, no, she's so respectful, well behaved, well dressed. I don't think she would allow herself or her children to come out naked. Never. So people like that, Okonjo-Iweala the same. We have a lot.
world of business is one filled with men and women willing to dine with risk. And when we seek African business shapers, we see individuals who have denied self to build conglomerates. From controlling over 90% of diesel trade in Nigeria, to almost throwing in the towel, then getting on the Forbes list, we present Olufemi Peter Otedola. The Nigerian businessman and philanthropist was born in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, on the 4th of November, 1962, into the family of late Sir Michael Otedola, the governor of Lagos State from 1992 to 1993. The University of Lagos Staff School, Akuka, welcomed Olufemi for his primary education and secondary education at Olivet Baptist High School, Oyo. Olufemi proceeded to Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, for his first degree, graduated and joined the family printing press business, working hard and gaining experience. Femi Otedola ventured out starting Center Force Limited. The company focused on finance, investment and trading. The oil and gas sector was Femi Otedola's next port of call. From quite a very humble beginning in the oil and gas sector, utilizing connections and networks of family and friends, he cultivated partnerships in diesel supply chain, him being the last man to the final consumer. Challenges breed opportunities, and in Femi's case, it was a late delivery of diesel from his supplier with a broken truck, and he caught the idea. He could do better and provide better services. He ventured into diesel supply business, buying diesel from a retailer and supplying to companies. Femi Otedola encountered several difficulties securing his supply and timely meeting the demands of his growing clients. This definitely was an opportunity he identified in the fuel retail market. Otedola secured the finance, and Zenon Petroleum and Gas Limited was born, petroleum products marketing and distribution company. Otedola, owner and chairman of Zenon, in 2004 invested 15 billion naira in downstream infrastructure development and acquired storage depots at Ibadan, Apapa, as well as 4 cargo vessels, amounting to a combined total storage capacity of 147,000 metric tons. Zenon Petroleum and Gas Limited also acquired a fleet of 100 DAF fuel tanker trucks. By 2005, Zenon controlled a major share of the Nigerian diesel market, supplying fuel to most of the major manufacturers in the country, including Dangote Group, Cadbury, Coca-Cola, Nigerian Breweries, MTN, Unilever, Nestle, and Guinness. Zenon Petroleum and Gas was the name on major invoices, and Femi Otedola the name on every lips, playing toe-to-toe with major multinationals. Zenon, in a very short period, silenced the competition and almost unilaterally determined the price of diesel in Nigeria. The competitors came to Zenon for supply. Femi Otedola, with the massive success Zenon Petroleum and Gas achieved, bought a 28.7% stake in African Petroleum. Otedola branched into the financial sector and aggressively stocked up the shares of leading financial houses. He became a top shareholder in Zenith Bank, United Bank for Africa, and the largest importer of diesel in Nigeria. He acquired major shares of Africa's Finance Corporation, Mobile Oil Nigeria Limited, Chevron Texaco, and Visa Phone. Otedola has his hands deep in real estate investments, including an acquisition in February 2007 by Zenon of Starling House in Victoria Island, Lagos from the federal government. Lagos, London, Dubai, Monaco all have the signatures of FO Property Limited. He was appointed chairman of the Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja and tasked with driving its expansion and upgraded to a 7-star facility. Otedola has served as a member of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council since 2004. Was appointed by President Goodluck Jonathan to Nigeria's National Economic Management Team. Otedola is chief executive and president of the Seaforth Shipping Company Limited and was at one point Nigeria's largest ship owner after extending control over the distribution of diesel products. One of his ships, a flat-bottom bunker vessel with a storage capacity of 16,000 metric tons, was the first of its kind in Africa In January 2006, OYETOLA was appointed a non-executive director of Transnational Corporation of Nigeria PLC, a multi-sectoral conglomerate established in 2004 by then President Olusegun Obasanjo to respond to market opportunities requiring heavy capital investment in Nigeria and across sub-Saharan Africa. He held this post until February 2011. OYETOLA was appointed chairman and chief executive of African Petroleum in 2007 through the acquisition of controlling stake in the business. Following OYETOLA's entry into the company, African Petroleum share price rose sharply, increasing the market capitalization from 36 billion to 217 billion naira in 6 months. In March 2009, OYETOLA became the second Nigerian after Aliko Dangote to appear on the Forbes list of dollar-denominated billionaires with an estimated net worth of $1.2 billion. OYETOLA announced the move to upgrade African Petroleum's liquefied petroleum gas storage terminals in Lagos, Kano, and Port Harcourt in October 2009. Harsh economic conditions necessitated by the slump in the oil prices and credit squeeze of 2008-09 led African Petroleum to record a loss in 2009. With the world oil price crash came difficult moments for Zenon and OYETOLA. He was very close to complete bankruptcy.
I said to myself, I was not going to have friends and enemies. I was going to have only competitors. I had two options: commit suicide or weather the storm.
African Petroleum, rebranded in December 2010, changed its name to Fort Oil PLC. OYETOLA paid his near $1 billion debt and invested in the financial industry, making him a top shareholder in Zenith Bank and United Bank for Africa. OYETOLA restructured the business, focusing on technology and improved corporate governance, and in 2012, Fort Oil returned to profit. OYETOLA financed 57% of Fort Oil subsidiary, Amperion Limited, which acquired the 440 megawatt Girigu power plant for $232 million in 2013. Fort Oil improved financial position and diversification into power generation resulted in a 1,321% rise in its share price. The first half of 2014 saw the company's pre-tax profit more than double year on year to 4.1 billion naira. Revenue growth for the whole year was 33%. Fort Oil sold 70% of its equity to Swiss commodity trader Mercuria Energy Group in September 2015, giving Fort access to global commodity markets. The deal was thought to have given OYETOLA an estimated $200 million. In 2019, Femi OYETOLA sold Fort Oil PLC and announced plans to change focus from oil to power with his company, Girigu Power PLC. Girigu Power PLC became the first power generation company to list on Nigerian Stock Exchange, demonstrating to stakeholders in the sector how they can fix financing and make profits sustainably. The company's market capitalization is now 726.75 billion naira, and the share price now 290.7 naira from the 2.5 billion shares that were listed at 100 naira each. OYETOLA, the chairman of Girigu Power, sold down a Girigu stake to bring on institutional investors. In October 2021, Femi OYETOLA was announced as the single largest shareholder of First Bank PLC. FBN Holdings, the parent company of First Bank Limited, witnessed a commendable 437.9 billion naira surge in market capitalization. FBN Holdings appointed billionaire Femi OYETOLA as the new chairman of its board of directors, effective January 31st, 2024. Femi OYETOLA has had its share of controversies. Zenon was among the number of companies named in an alleged fuel subsidy scam report. This was followed by a case against Farouk Lawan for bribery. OYETOLA has also lost in the ever-evolving competing space of business acquisitions. Transcorp and Huheli Power Plant are two notable projects he closely bidded and lost. Femi OYETOLA philanthropy is quite remarkable. OYETOLA made a 300 million naira donation to the completion of the National Ecumenical Center in Abuja. In 2007, he gave 200 million to the State Security Trust Fund in a drive to reduce crime in Lagos. Donated 100 million naira to the OYETOLA College of Primary Education in Egbe. In 2008, he donated 80 million to the Faculty of Agriculture at the University of Port Harcourt. Femi OYETOLA pledged and redeemed $25,000 to the Super Eagles in the match against Algeria in 2019 AFCON. he gave all 750 students of Augustine University 1 million naira each. Otedola sits comfortably on the Forbes billionaires list of top 20 richest people in Africa. Femi Otedola is married to Mrs. Nana Otedola and have 4 children: Olawumi Christy Tolani, Florence Ifeoluwa, Elizabeth Temi, and Fewa Otedola. Olufemi Peter Otedola is a standout astute business executive.
Fellow Nigerians, did you know that constituency and executive projects in your communities are not gifts from your legislators? They are projects sponsored by the legislators and funded by the federal government to improve your life and the lives of those around you. These projects belong to you. Without your vigilance, they might never be completed. Don't allow them to fade away into unfulfilled promises. Stand up, take ownership, monitor their progress, demand accountability, and report concerns to ICPC. Call our toll-free line now on 0800-2255-4272 or WhatsApp only on 0806-656-4726. This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC.
Hello and welcome to the news update. I am Olumide Shokoya. Now let's begin. The federal government, state and local government shared 2 billion and 9 trillion as revenue for October 2025, reflecting a slight decline from the 2.103 trillion naira allocated in September. The 9 billion naira drop represents a 0.43% decrease on a month-on-month basis, signaling minor revenue fluctuations. The figures were disclosed after the Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAAC) meeting held in Abuja. Now, according to a statement by Bawa Mokwa, Director of Press at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the funds were disbursed across the 3 tiers of government to support budgetary needs and essential services. This revenue allocation remains critical for sustaining public operations worldwide. Now, the decline is modest. They highlight ongoing challenges in meeting consistent revenue targets. Analysts believe tax compliance, improved oil earnings, and enhanced fiscal discipline could help stabilize monthly disbursements moving forward. The federal government is projecting 1 billion naira in annual revenue from electricity exports to 15 West African countries under ECOWAS starting June 2026. This projection is tied to Nigeria's ability to fully utilize a 600 megawatt export capacity at prevailing regional tariffs. The expected revenue boost follows Nigeria's successful grid organization with other West African nations. On November 8, 2025, the country completed a landmark 4-hour test linking its power grid with 15 regional neighbors, a key step in establishing cross-border electricity trade. Power Minister Adebayo Adelabu revealed the development at a press briefing in Abuja. He described the synchronization as a milestone that positions Nigeria to play a dominant role in the regional energy market. The move aligns with broader energy reforms to monetize Nigeria's excess generation and strengthen its economic footprint across Africa. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adigboyega Oyetola has raised concern over the damaging impact of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing across the west central Gulf of Guinea. Now, he says such activities rob the region of vital economic opportunities, threaten food security, and endanger millions of livelihoods reliant on marine resources. OYETOLA made this statement in Lagos during his acceptance speech after being elected chairman of the Conference of Ministers of Fisheries Committee for West Central Gulf of Guinea. His election came at the 16th Conference of Ministers hosted by Nigeria. The minister emphasized that the urgency of regional collaboration in combating IUU fishing, noting that marine governance is key to unlocking the full potential of Africa's blue economy. He pledged to lead coordinated efforts among FWC member states to protect marine ecosystem and ensure sustainable fishing practices for long-term economic development. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has issued a public alert after Chad banned BLEDINE infant cereals produced by Danone Group due to contamination concerns. The cereals were found to contain aflatoxin B1, a toxic substance that failed to meet European safety standards, raising alarms about their health impact on infants. NAFDAC confirmed that the affected cereals are already circulating in Nigeria, particularly in border communities near Chad. The agency has called on the public to avoid consuming the product and urged vendors to withdraw it from shelves immediately. Surveillance and product testing are being intensified to track distribution and remove contaminated batches. This incident underscores ongoing concerns over product safety and cross-border regulation. NAFDAC has assured Nigerians of swift action and advised caregivers to be vigilant, checking labels and purchasing only certified infant foods. Lagos State government projects it can generate over 400 billion naira annually for the healthcare financing if 20 million residents subscribe to its health insurance scheme. Now, this was revealed by Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, during the launch of the Lagos Private Health Partnership, LPHP, a major reform targeting the insurance penetration and improved healthcare delivery. Abayomi explained that the target is based on an average annual premium of 20,000 naira per person. With the current flow of enrollment rate, he stressed the need for widespread awareness, public-private collaboration, and trust in the healthcare system to drive participation. Now, the LPHP is expected to serve as a vehicle to achieve this goal by leveraging private sector expertise and innovation. This initiative marks a strategic move to reduce out-of-pocket spending, increase healthcare access, and build a sustainable funding model for public health services in Lagos State. Many thanks for watching. Please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Sook News TV. I am Olumide Shukwaya. Coming up shortly is Sook Business Landscape. Do stay with us.
At the Africa Development Studies Center, ADSC, we are committed to driving sustainable growth and development across Africa through innovative training and research. Our mission: empowering leaders, policymakers, and professionals with the tools they need to create lasting change. With customized training, dynamic research programs, and study exchanges on leadership, management, and other critical development topics, ADSC offers a platform for exchanging cutting-edge ideas and global best practices. We provide comprehensive services in research and consultancy, capacity building and training, education programs, publishing and knowledge sharing. Our esteemed faculty, composed of seasoned experts and researchers, ensures a learning experience that is insightful and practical. We specialize in policy development, implementation strategies, and monitoring and evaluation. At ADSC, learning is engaging and enjoyable. Our unique methodology includes talks, interactive exercises, games, video screenings, and lively seminar discussions, all in a comfortable and friendly environment. For more information, email us at info@adstudiescenter.com or call +234 912 039 2362. Visit our website www.adstudiescenter.com to explore our programs and upcoming events. Africa Development Studies Center, rethinking development for Africa.
Oyeyimika Adeboye is one who comes from a lineage of entrepreneurs. Her father, Chief Timothy Adeola Odutola, was a pioneer in Nigerian manufacturing and a role model for her business ambitions. This daughter of a trailblazer began a career with Nigerian Bottling Company and broke barriers at Cadbury, an organization she joined as Finance and Strategy Director and rose to become the first female managing director. Let's explore the word of this amazing African business leader who's built a legacy of excellence, inspiring future generation of female leaders. Oyeyimika Adeboye comes from a lineage of entrepreneurs. Her father, Chief Timothy Adeola Odutola, was a pioneer in Nigerian manufacturing and a role model for her business ambitions. Oyeyimika was born to late Chief Timothy Adeola Odutola, a foremost entrepreneur of his time. He was one of the pioneers of indigenous manufacturing in Nigeria, alongside the late Alhassan Dantata, the great-grandfather of business icon Aliko Dangote, and Louis Ojukwu, father of Odumegwu Ojukwu, the Biafran leader. Chief Timothy Adeola Odutola became the first president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria when the body was formed. As daughter to the man who created a multi-million-dollar conglomerate, including 3 factories, a realty franchise, a cattle ranch, a 5,000-acre plantation, a sawmill, an exporting business, as well as established Adeola Odutola College and Adeola Odutola Elementary School in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. In addition to having a mother who was a very successful businesswoman, Oyeyimika was highly inspired towards business by her parents who served as role models. After her basic and secondary education, Adeboye earned a degree in economics and accountancy from the University College, Cardiff, Wales. In 1986, she qualified as a chartered accountant in the UK before returning to Nigeria in the 90s. She became a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales and a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants in Nigeria. She also got Executive Management Education Certification in Finance and Business Administration from the Institute of Management Development, Lausanne, Switzerland, between 2000 and 2007. Oyeyimika began a career outside the shores of Nigeria as an article clerk with a United Kingdom accounting practice. On returning to Nigeria in the 90s, Oyeyimika took up a job with the Nigerian accounting and tax practice of Arthur Addison & Co. for a couple of years. From there, she moved to Nigerian Bottling Company plc in 1994, where she held the position of Finance Director and Chief Financial Officer for about 13 years. Returning to Nigeria from the United Kingdom proved a career-defining moment for Oyeyimika. She recalls the experience of a female English friend who worked in the UK as senior manager for many years, but didn't make partner at the same firm where other male managers were admitted into partnership. Among other reasons, the possibility of career limitation consequent on being female and black were good enough reasons to make Oyeyimika return home. In November 2008, Oyeyimika was headhunted to join the board of Cadbury West Africa as Finance and Strategy Director, West Africa, and a director on the board of Cadbury Ghana Limited. She was also a member of the Audit Committee of the company until October 19, 2016. She is a member of the Executive Management Committee and member of the Risk Assessment Committee of Cadbury Nigeria. She spent a total of 10 years and 7 months with Cadbury before being appointed as MD Cadbury Nigeria plc in April 2019. She also became MD, Mondelez Cadbury West Africa. 2 months later, Mondelez International is the parent company of Cadbury Nigeria PLC. After consciously building a career in finance, strategy and business administration, both in Nigeria and the United Kingdom, for over 2 decades, one can almost say that Oyeyimika had spent all the years preparing for the top. Her appointment as the MD CEO of Cadbury Nigeria PLC is a testament to the company's acknowledgement of fine talents. Position as the Managing Director of Cadbury Nigeria PLC. In April 2019, she was announced as the successor to Amir Shamsi. By this development, she became the first female MD of the company in its over 50 years of existence.
It's very important as you're growing your careers. You come here, you learn a lot, and this is a fantastic initiative, by the way. You come here, you learn a lot, and then you go out there and you're wondering what next. What I always say to people is don't limit yourself. You must never limit yourself. I gave you a statement. I said I'm a finance person. Today I'm a general manager. I did not learn general management in school. So whatever you're learning here, I'll call it a drop in your learning pool. Okay? You spend a year here, you learn something. Whatever you learn from here is a drop in your learning pool. Some things you will learn in life. You know where HR people, she's gone, I wish she was here. They always tell us that your development, 80% is in your hands, 20% is in your employer's hands. Your employer can do a lot for you, but all they do for you is really 20%. If you don't get up and do something for yourself, you cannot promote yourself and you will not grow your career.
Oyeyimika Adeboye sits on the Board of Trustees of the Timothy Adeola Odutola Foundation, named after her father. The foundation targets its philanthropic works towards providing educational, industrial, and technological development for Nigerian youths that may be unable to gain admission into tertiary institutions for their higher education. Adeboye is a member of the board of Odutola Holdings Limited, a family-owned group of companies. Oyeyimika also serves as the chairperson of the advisory board of Genesis House, a home for disadvantaged young women, which was set up by Freedom Foundation. She's a member of the board of the Parity in Income and Education Foundation. Just like Oyeyimika Adeboye was able to break the corporate glass ceiling as the first female MD of Cadbury Nigeria PLC, today, women are given the visibility and exposure that was probably not a priority in the past. While there is still a huge gap in the recognition and appointment of highly performing women into CEO roles, the trend is fast improving as organizations are intentionally taking steps to ensure that women get the opportunity to take on very senior roles. As part of a philanthropic work, Adeboye is a member of the Board of Trustees of YEO Foundation, which provides various initiatives to empower less privileged women. She also contributes her time to partner with Handmaidens WRLS, a Christian NGO which seeks to mentor and empower professional women along an ethical career path. Oyeyimika is a member of the Board of Trustees of the Timothy Adeola Odutola Foundation, a family-owned philanthropic foundation set up for the purpose of providing educational, industrial, and technological development of Nigerian youths who may be unable to gain access to higher education. For these accomplished women, only God comes before her family in the scale of priority. She enjoys running and spending time with her family over a sumptuous meal. Oyeyimika Adeboye's values are shaped by faith as a Christian. In an interview granted to Punch newspaper, Oyeyimika admits her faith-based values, which borders on integrity, is key to decisions she makes and work ethics.
Just do what you need to do and do it well. To your best, Again, Mr. Oshika talked about it, to the best of your ability. Do your best. What do I want to say? Yes, I said be ready to make sacrifices, but be mindful of your priorities. I want to talk about priorities. As a Christian, and as a mother, as a wife, there's some things in my own life that I know are important. When you're talking about work-life balance, so many things would try to tear you apart. You have to have your priorities. So I took my priorities right. I said, in any decision, in any situation I face, I stick my finger out and I say 3 things. The first thing is my faith, my God. So if anything at work is going to take that away from me, I'm really willing to give up that work. And I say it boldly, that as a Christian, if I have to compromise my faith, then it's not worth it.
Growing up in a home with strict moral upbringing, she recounts her disciplinarian father never failing to apply the rod when it was necessary, as well as her mom. These values have shaped Oyeyemika's character and decision-making. The journey of Oyeyemika exemplifies dedication, talent, and the importance of breaking barriers. She continues to inspire future generations of female leaders. There's never telling where this wonderful, amazing woman is going next as she continues to break corporate ceilings.
With the theme, Leveraging Customs Enforcement to Enhance Revenue Generation with Transparency and Accountability, an ICPC Perspective, the lecture, held at the Federal Operations Unit, Zone A, Ikeja, brought together officers of the Nigeria Customs Service and top officials from the ICPC. The Public Relations Officer, A.O. Hussaini, opened the event by introducing dignitaries, followed by welcome remarks from Comptroller M.S. Shuaibu, head of the Federal Operations Unit, Zone A. Assistant Comptroller F.A. Owoni, convener of the session and Zonal Head of Operations for Zone A and C, underscored the significance of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, which represents the ICPC within the Customs Service. There was also a brief remark by Mary Omonoya, a Principal Superintendent at ICPC, representing the Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Chukura Alexandra.
My honor to welcome you all to this important engagement on leveraging customs enforcement to enhance revenue generation with transparency and accountability. Today's gathering reflects our shared commitment to building a more robust, responsive, and integrity-driven Nigerian customs service.
She charged the NCS to ensure that enforcement activities within the Nigeria Customs Service must be grounded in the principles of accountability and ethical conduct. In her lecture, Dr. Hadiza Rimi, Principal Superintendent PE&E, ICPC Lagos, stressed that public perception, transparency, and quick open accountability remain major obstacles to effective customs operations and public trust.
So we have what we call ACTU, just like you have here, and those people hosting the event today. So the ACTU is responsible in checkmating potholes, or loopholes rather, in MDAs, in ensuring that there's compliance and in ethics in institutions.
Dr. Rimi also drew comparisons between Nigeria and Ghana in Customs Governance Index. Comptroller M.S. Shuaibu shed more light.
Every custom officer is, I think, among those that is doing the selfless service. That's why when you see people pushing that they should do this to customs, they are not out of context. We generate revenue. So if you're generating revenue, you are seeing it pass. Okay, like we said, those you think will cut corners. When after cutting their corners, what we try to do, we sanction them. Like I said, I mentioned somebody as that level dismissed. And no organization today in Nigeria that had done that. No organization. I remember when I was in that operation S2, that is what I do. 9 officers were dismissed at one time.
He further gave more clarifications to the issues highlighted. When Sook News TV asked how the service supports small business exporters, Comptroller M.S. Shuaibu pointed to recent reforms, including port redesigns for export focus, revitalized rail systems to ease cargo movement, and reduce checkpoints. He urged Nigerian exporters to prioritize global quality standards. He also highlighted perception management strategies by the Customs Service. In his closing remarks, Assistant Comptroller F.A. Owuniyi thanked participants and urged the ICPC to extend similar trainings to officers on the field, not just administrative staff. I am Moyosore Adebi for Sook News TV.
ECO-Atlantic has become Nigeria's most sought-after city for its high-end infrastructure, prestige, and well-planned city layout, as reflected in an 8-lane boulevard, about 13 internal bridges, underground cables, and green footprints defined by over 30,000 trees. Additionally, having a building in the city has become a trend among the so-called big boys, as was the case with Old Ikoyi, Victoria Garden City, popularly called VGC, Osborne Foreshore, and now Banana Island. In this special report, Bayo Olaoye states that this talk of "I belong" and the prestige mentality has also spread to the big firms. Before now, Kingsway and Ozumba Mbadiwe used to say that Victoria Island were the go-to locations for high-rise office buildings. These locations are home to iconic developments such as Kingsway Towers, Heritage Palace, Fanfa Towers, the Wings and the Waves, among others, making them Nigeria's equivalent of Silicon Valley. The Eco-Atlantic City was modeled after the skyscraper district of Manhattan Island in New York City. It has become the new destination for big-ticket corporate firms which are building or relocating their new headquarters to the 10-square-kilometer city, rising off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean in Lagos. The city is attracting investment interests in both residential and commercial real estate, the latest being MTN Nigeria, preparing to build a new headquarters. MTN is coming on the heels of First Bank, which recently turned the turf to build a 40-floor corporate head office, making the city's most iconic development so far. Prior to this courageous and ambitious entry into Eco City by MTN, First Bank, Dangote Group, and the Embassy of the United States of America have taken positions there, developing a new head office and a diplomatic facility respectively. Much earlier, a co-development company had occupied the city as the developer of the Azuri Towers, offering both residential and commercial facilities for high clients and corporate bodies. Arkaland Property Investment and Oak Homes are also in the city, developing A&A Towers simultaneously. These are the residential developments that will be standing on the 22nd floor and the 33rd floors respectively. Other developments are the Pan-African Towers by Periwinkle Residences, Eco Pearl with Champagne Tower and Eco Pearl Black Tower, Amni Towers and Ani International Petroleum Development Company, and Louisville Towers by Total Energy Staff Cooperative and Multipurpose Society. Louisville will comprise 300 residential homes spread between 2 towers, a world-class sporting center and a club, retail outlets, and other facilities. It is designed to employ modern technology to achieve smart living and high standards. Eco-Atlantic is an exclusive luxury city with superior infrastructure that appeals to the kind of investors we have seen in the city so far.
My name is Shino Gbadegeshin. I'm the CEO of Gozi Micro Insurance. Continue to watch Sook News.
Adenike Adeyemi, Executive Director of Faith Foundation. Keep watching Sook News. My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoy you all to always watch Souk News TV.
Hey everyone, Majuli Obaje here representing Gigi. Keep watching Souk News, okay? Stay updated with Souk News.
My name is Arton Keme. I am the head of MSME banking. Please keep watching Souk News and stay glued to Souk News.
I recommend that more and more people should watch Souk News because they deal with business news.
Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching Souk News.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If we say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy, see something. This is Souk business landscape.
Good morning and welcome to your regular breakfast show. This is SBL and this is where you should be this morning. Hope you slept well. And this is a beautiful Thursday. Lagos is a bit confused with the weather. We don't know whether it's raining, we don't know whether it's sunny, we don't know whether it's Harmattan. But all of them are here with us. So remember, cover up and always be your brother's keeper. Make sure those children are covered up, enough vitamin C when they go out, and take care. Now, today on SBL, we will be telling you a whole lot of stories. First, the Federal Allocation Committee have sent out those billions. It's gotten to states and local government. We will have to put our satellite there and talk about it. Also, there is this particular information from NAFDAC. You need to stay on the show. Public service announcement. There are products out there you need to avoid like a plague. We will also talk about what is happening with the aviation industry. Yes, our nation for the major first time is coming to find some international airlines and saying, hey, treat our people well. It's business, it's development, our stories that are emanating and affecting not just the table, pockets, and businesses. We will talk and we will keep talking. My name is Chooks, John Rogers Chooks, and on the live table today, I'm pleased to tell you that I have the fair one and I have the knight himself. Pray, good morning.
Good morning to you, Chooks, John Rogers Chooks, and good morning to you, Lumine. Good morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria, and the world. It's good to see you again this penultimate day of the week. That your other name, Rogers, it reminds me of somebody else who goes by that name.
Somebody else, okay.
Goes by that
you will tell me that somebody else very soon. Okay, Olumide, good morning.
Good morning, Chooks, John Rogers. Good morning, Oyinpre. Good morning, I am Olumide Sugar. So glad to be here.
Okay, now let's get straight to the federal government, states, and local government. They shared 2.094 trillion naira as revenue for October 2025, reflecting a slight decline from 2.103 trillion allocated in September. The 9 billion drop represents a 0.43% decrease on a month-to-month basis, signaling minor revenue fluctuations. The figures were disclosed after the Federal Account Allocation Committee (FAC) meeting held in Abuja. According to a statement by Bara Mokwa, Director of Press at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the funds were disbursed across the 3 tiers of government to support budgetary needs and essential services. This revenue allocation remains critical for sustaining public operations nationwide. While the deadline and decline is modest, it highlights the ongoing challenges in meeting consistent revenue targets. Analysts believe better tax compliance, improved oil earnings, and enhanced fiscal discipline could help stabilize monthly disbursement moving forward. Okay, this is now a mainstay. Every month, these disbursements are made, and to the glory of God, where we say in this part of the world, we now know for sure that states cannot wake up and say we did not get the funds, because the committee keeps updating us and telling us we have sent the money. Local government should also receive the money. Now let's start asking those questions. Why do we still have the rate of underdevelopment and underperformance of state budgets, and everybody's looking at the center?
I think it speaks to accountability and responsibility. When certain amounts are being disbursed to states, you expect that before this amount is even disbursed, there are some needs, there are some projects, proposed projects that they have already. They are just waiting for funds to be disbursed. And when these funds get into their account, the projects kick off. But you seem to be seeing the opposite, or maybe they are moving at a slower pace. For instance, local governments. There are so many things that I do not expect. You see, sometimes when I walk on my street and I hear people say, oh, it's the state government that is responsible for certain things like gutters, some roads, and I'm asking, you have a councillor, you have a local government chairman, what is he doing? Do you even know who these people are? You have a health center, are they well equipped? These are some of the things we need to be asking, or should I say we need to know. Now, for instance, if we had a website, I will continue to say this, if we had an official website.
Who is we?
Nigerians. Local government.
State government.
State government have an official
website.
We wouldn't even be here discussing, oh, the federal government has disbursed a social amount. I would just sit in my house and go on Surulere local government or Mushin local government. Oh, they've gotten their allocation. This is what they are proposed to do this month. These are the community outreach. These are the projects that they are going to embark on. I mean, and everything runs smoothly. I think if local governments have websites, if they're up and running, the burden on state government is lesser because what they are getting at is directly from the federal government.
Are they getting it directly?
Well, that's another case we would have to, dissect here.
You are not on that table yet.
Yeah, I'm not on that table. Okay. Maybe Priya would like to share.
Yes. Now, let's look at citizenship diplomacy. We as a people, aside we on this table and other tables out there that are broadcasting, are we doing enough to ask questions?
Okay, first of all, before I answer that question, let me just talk a little bit with regards to what Olumide said. We've seen that there is a pattern. From January, the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee will disburse. And this is November. October has just been disbursed. A shortage of what happened in September and what happened in October is just a difference of 900 billion. However, we can see that the local government spending pattern, the state government spending pattern, in fact, and to a large extent also, the federal government spending patterns are all determined by the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, and how much is being disbursed from these accounts. And if it is determined, if their spending patterns are determined by that, it's also imperative to call to attention that their economic reforms, infrastructure, forecasts, plans that they have on ground will also, and the way it's going to be implemented, they're also determined by how much is coming in through the FAAC allocations every month. If that is also determined by that means we can almost, just the way we forecast the budget for the year and we put it out there, and at the end of the day, there's no time we've been able to do 100%. Even the federal government has not been able to do 100%. Am I saying 100? We've not been able to do 70%. So state governors, they've not been able to do that amount. Local government has not been able to do that amount. But however, it's also possible for us to equally draw a 4-year plan. If the local government does not want to follow the plan, the economic plan that is coming from the national, and does not want to follow the economic plan coming from the state, and it wants to actually highlight its own economic plan and lay it down for that 4 years or 3 years that is going to be in office, you should be able to do that by anticipating, by envisaging what the kind of amount of money that should be coming to their coffers, and to use it productively to enhance the local economy at the grassroots, giving also
their own sources of revenue that they will be getting. Mr. Chooks, it's tiring. Local government also should have the capacity or the plan to collaborate with multinationals. If multinationals are too big, then there are areas where they can bring the state government to also mediate in between, so that we want to make sure that there is no lopsidedness in drawing up an economic plan for a specific local government. Local government should have the wherewithal to collaborate with even domestic organizations that that are very, very big and have the capacity to be able to fund some local government projects. If the state government, through the state internal revenue service, can partner with some big organization like banks, financial companies, and tell them, okay, we are going to exempt you from tax, but we need you to construct this road. It leads to a farm in there, and we need to make sure that that specific farm, whenever the harvest is carried out, we want to make sure that they have a good motorable road for them to convey the products from the farm, from that part of the city, of the rural area down to the commercial nerve center where people can have access to this agricultural produce. And when they've done that, by way of corporate social responsibility, that they can be exempted from tax for a specific period of time. Some of these organizations that the local government has the power to get some money from by way of local taxation,
okay,
the local government should be allowed to determine, okay, don't give us the money. We have a huge project at hand. Can you take care of this road? Can you fix this bridge? Because there are some roads that the government is not even under the jurisdiction of the state government. It's under the local government. There are some markets that is not even, the taxes that are being collected by that place, and most of them are done by local government officials.
So they should account for the tax.
Okay, now
they are generating before we start looking for collaborations with organizations.
So we need, because local government, because of the story of where we are coming from with regards to local government administration. Local government, there are some areas that we should completely take away local government from the hands of state governors because of the unscrupulous dealings that might happen between them.
Before you head to this particular dealings, let's ask these direct questions. Are local government getting their funds?
Local government getting their funds? Well, recently, in fact, from a specific source I heard, local government gets their funds, but I wouldn't want
directly
to
from FAC or indirectly through states.
We know that the previous administration and this current administration, has been fighting this battle of making sure that local government gets this fund directly from the federal government disbursement, just the way the states governments are getting it, theirs too. But the thing is, we've also heard how courts went out to give verdict in favor of local governments getting their allocations. So if the courts have given their verdict with regards to that, then it stands that local government should be getting that. But however, I heard that the state governors reappealed the case.
Yes, they did.
They reappealed that case. And I can't really tell if the pendulum at this time swung towards the local government.
The pendulum is still where it is. But now let's politically let's look at reality. Are states still holding on to local government funds?
States governments are dying to hold on to local government, and you know what? And the primary objective is not the funds alone.
It's what?
I think the primary objective
of the local government.
Control of the grassroots politicking and politics.
All this boils down to vote.
Yes, it boils down to vote.
Not development.
Not development. But you know what? Development can come when they secure that place. That is in their mind. When they secure that terrain administratively.
What's more important, devote or business development?
are you going to get the business development without getting the vote? It's when you get the vote
But you
that you now sit
already.
on the saddle of power.
That's your question. You are there already.
As a local government councillor, as a local
governor, whether as the president, you are there already. Why are you fixated on getting the vote for the next dispensation when you've not delivered on the vote you promised?
Great.
Now,
First
don't answer that. Let's look at citizenship diplomacy. Are we talking enough as a people?
Okay, we are not talking enough as a people. As a people, we have not even demonstrated some form of responsibility that is required of citizens themselves to hold a government at the jugular, to be responsible to their primary responsibilities of providing an ecosystem that facilitates business, economy, and development, either at the state, the local government, or at the federal level. So if I want the federal government to an extent to have a subtle control, and they do. So we can hold through and the state government too have some level of subtle control over the local government, and they do. But you see, the way they use that control demonstrates the ulterior motives that they have for the local government. I need you to land.
Quick question.
Yes, I want to land on this, please, before you come with a quick question. The reason why I'm saying this is because local government, yes, I'm going to do anything possible to make sure that this money, your allocation, gets straight from your federation account. But you know what? Your budget for the year that the councillors and you, the chairman, and including the principal officers, sat at the local parliament to deliberate on. We need to have the budget of every state government. They have the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Their budget, after passed in the local assembly, should be given straight to the state, the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Local Affairs at the state level, to make sure that that budget is followed to the latter in terms of capital project and the expenditures.
Okay.
Now, the state does not have to say, okay, the money is going to be in our hand. No, this is the budget. The money gets straight to you. But you know what? The Ministry of Chieftaincy Affairs, in collaboration with the committee that exercises oversight control over the local government, will make sure that, look, this budget of the local government is implemented to the latter. Because with the absence of that will lead to the fact that the state itself will be impoverished. It will not develop. When that local government develops in that sense, it collaborates with the efforts of the state government to develop the state. Okay. And the state government on their own collaborates, synergizes with the effort of the federal government to develop at the federal level. Then we're having development moving on from the state, from the local government, the state government, and to the federal government.
Okay.
When we have dislocation in this system, then we're not going anywhere.
Right now, you're trying to take us to the classroom to look at what should be. But now let's talk about what is on ground. I'm coming to you here now.
Yes.
I still go back to that. Why do we see the local government as brides that once you win over that side is what they are dictated to? That is what they should do. And on the same thing, the local government themselves, the chairman, the councillors, see themselves as people that have their allegiances to the governor.
I was speaking with someone in this office yesterday, and he was even of the opinion that he believes that INEC should still conduct local government elections, that until that happens, if it's been left to the hands of the state, they can still somehow influence these elections and put whoever they want to put there. That until INEC themselves put their foot on the ground and conduct this election, people would actually vote for those. It won't be a case of imposing someone onto the community, because I believe local government elections should be the fairest of all elections, because it's the grassroots. People should come out. I should know who is contesting for Surulere local government. I should be familiar. I should be someone, because I grew up, I was born and grew up in Surulere. So I should be able to know who this person is. That, oh, I know this person. We might not be classmates, but at least I will know someone who knows him and be like, okay, so yes, this is the person. Not you just bring someone and impose it on him. So this is one of the things that we need to correct. We need to correct it. For local government to really be autonomous, we have to remove all form of influence, hands tied to the local government through the state government. Because until that happens, they would not truly be autonomous. So one of the steps I believe we can do is let's continue to have periodic meetings, town hall meetings, whole town hall meetings with your communities. In fact, but even in as much as we want to hold meetings, one of the things that is crucial that we still don't have is data. So whatever project, Priya was saying, let's partner with this, partner with that. If you go and meet a private entity and you say you want to partner to do so, they would also ask you for data. They need data because these people, they have people who they're accountable to, and they must give accurate data to how money is being spent. So you want to do a project, you want to do a community project. Do you even know how many people you are doing this project for? How many people are in your communities that will be able to access this? Revenue generating is the easiest thing for local governments to do. You can create recreational parks, you can create car parks, you can create so many things with just a token of 100, 200, 300 naira per day, and you will generate a whole lot of money if truly they want to not rely on FAC. Because it seems as if that's the norm now. They just sit, I mean, I read now local government got 505.803 billion naira. That's the total. So 774 local governments, that's what they are sharing right now. And for some people, I know Priya and I, we've argued before one time that 500 million naira is too small. 500 billion or million? Million naira, that's per local government. That is too small.
Local governments can't get 500 million naira.
Well, they can't get, of course. But
they get it in billions. In billions? Yes.
Oh, good. So, all well and good. They get it in billions. So, what are they doing with it? That's the question we should ask. I keep on saying there's this, there's this road along Mushi. I've tried to ask, is this road a federal road? Maybe that's why it has been there for years. Mushi, before Mushi market, that road has been dilapidated for years.
And there's a market, very close to
beside that market, there's a dump
site. Now, for that particular market, they pay tax on daily basis.
They pay tax.
And the tax is going to the local government. The state is getting a share of the tax, and yet the road is not faced. So are we talking enough?
Exactly. So when I asked, they said it could be for some political reasons. I always like to avoid it, that maybe the person there is having problems with the governor. So, I mean, these are some of the things why I said we need to remove all influences. So if I know that if I'm having problems with the governor, it does not affect allocation, it does not affect anything, I will be able to do I should be able to do my job well. But if my influence or my friendship with the governor affects what I'm going to get, then talking about the allocation, when the news broke out that the local governments were not getting allocation, the news also broke out that CBN instructed that all local governments should open an account with them, which was done. And CBN was ordered to directly fund that account. So it's not a matter of whether... Yes. So it's not a matter of state government. Is CBN actually obeying that order? That's the question we also need to ask.
Now, is it CBN or is it a political will? Because we can have all the policies and all the instruction. If the guys, the babas on top, without the WWs, if they don't tell you, follow it.
I want to assume that this administration was for local government autonomy.
Okay.
And I believe that was why this was mooted in the first place. And it was as if it was the state governments that actually protested against this. And I like how everything played out in court. And the court has given a judgment, whether they are trying to repeal or not. But at least pending the time, the appeal or whatever, it's maintain status quo.
Okay. Now, we look forward to having local government chairmen come on this table and answer these particular questions if they are getting their allocations directly from the federal accounts. And not just if they are getting it, they will not ask that direct question. We all want to ask, what are you doing with this money? We'll go on a very short break, very, very short break. We'll return. Don't go anywhere.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
It said it's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is suit business landscape.
We are live. Yes, we're live and we are very live. This is the SBL. Remember, you can join us. Go to all social media platforms and look for Souk News Television. Like, share, follow, remember. But share. Let your people know. Let those at the mosque, those your church members, let them know that we are live. Now, we are talking about the federal government, and the federal government is looking at projecting exporting something else, and that has to do with power. The federal government is projecting $1 billion. That's $1 billion. That's equivalent to 1.49 trillion naira in annual revenue. It mind is a projection from electricity exports to 15 West African countries under the ECOWAS, starting June 2026. This projection is tied to Nigeria's ability to fully utilize the 600 megawatts export capacity at the prevailing regional tariffs. The expected revenue boost follows Nigeria's successful grid synchronization with other West African nations. On November the 8th, 2025, the country completed a landmark 4-hour test linking its power grid with 15 regional neighbors, a key step in establishing cross-border electricity trade. Power Minister Adebayo Adelabu revealed the development at a press briefing in Abuja. He described the synchronization as a milestone that positions Nigeria to play a dominant role in the regional energy markets. The move aligns with broader energy reforms to monetize Nigeria's excess generation and strengthen its economic footprint across West Africa. Now, I have to really pause and take a breath at that excess generation. Dear ladies and gentlemen, no lady here yet. We are looking at all possible means of generating more income, pushing and pulling in FX into the economy. And power is one thing that is available, that is out there, product to sell. We've been selling this product for a while. It's not as if it's a new thing. But now we're having more avenues opened for us to sell more. Right now, we have a situation, we talked about this yesterday, we generate, but we can't distribute, transmit as much as we generate because of infrastructure.
Okay.
Now there is a market out there that can take some of what we are generating. Should we focus on making money or focus on providing power domestically?
You know, you don't leave a company that is still struggling to go and establish another one. We are still trying to get stable power. We are still trying to transmit power to every nooks and crannies in Nigeria, especially the rural area. We've been talking about rural electrification, alternative energy, this, that. We've been talking about equipment not being able, not maintenance rather, not being able to maintain these equipment. We've been talking about how to generate more and all that. It's a good idea. It's almost similar to oil. I mean, exporting oil, trying as much as possible to make sure that it feeds the nation, then we have something in excess to sell outside. It also helps, you know, reduce the pressure on the naira. It's a good move. It stabilizes the naira. It does a whole lot of things. But we first need to get our priorities right. I'm not saying that we can do it side by side, but I think more focus should be given to internal power. Because whether we like it or not, recently we disconnected Niger.
That was political.
Yes, it was political. And it's quite funny how Niger would be having power, I'm sure probably stable, I stand to be corrected, and we don't even have that. At a point, we were the ones supplying Ghana power until they, gained their independence, and now at the point they celebrated 10 years of uninterrupted, but they also have, blackouts once in a while and all that, but they are far better off than where we are today. So the question now is, where are we directing our resources, and to what interest is this? Is it to strengthen the naira? Is it to make extra money? Is it to increase our allocation? But at the end of the day, are people getting power in Nigeria?
At the end of the day, are people getting power in Nigeria? And just like we asked yesterday, are we pricing it right? Let me get to you. Now, that particular sector has been opened up, although we're still asking for more openings. And we are going to see more private individuals, more private corporate organizations, more investment in generation. We have, as we speak right now, we have several power plants that are waiting to be connected to the national gas line. We still have this big elephant in the room called inability to transmit what we are generating. Should we be focusing on sorting that out? And at the same time, because whoever has put in billions to construct generation plants, they want to make profit. Should we just say, good and fine, you can sell to West Africa while we tackle this? Where should we be heading to right now? We gas the plants, they sell to West Africa, we tackle this. Or do you think the priority is in making money and not domestic supply?
I think the priority can be, obviously can be looked at from different perspectives. And one of the perspectives is rightly what you just said and what Olumide equally referenced. The government is diversifying its revenue sources, and that's part of it. And this is not it's not a new thing when the government is diversifying its revenues. It's just that it is expanding the base of its already diversified revenue source. And part of it is, when we talked about the blackout yesterday that we are suffering as a country, and we also tabled this question you just asked about transmission. It all boiled down to infrastructure. Some other plants that you talked about, they are there. They're waiting to be connected to this gas, what I call it, turbine, so that they can be fired. And that is also going to boost our capacity to generate more megawatts. But the transmission that you're talking about requires lots of investment. It's a field where we know the government needs to really attract private hands to come invest. The government, if this is the reason where the government is going to raise bonds, it needs to do that. It needs to do that so that we can, erect and put in place the required infrastructure for this purpose. Not only that, some of the advantages, which may not be something quite enticing for you and Olumide, is that when we do this, we stand to become, now that we are doing that, we stand to expand our ability and our power and our influence for the geopolitics and as a regional leader in these 15 West African countries, right?
Because you're selling power to them?
Oh, yes.
So you somehow
we are advancing it to them. So to a very large extent. You
have power on them to bully them?
To bully them.
Oh, well, if you call it that way, we can influence.
You disconnected Niger and nothing happened.
No, we can influence them a lot. We can influence them economically. We can influence them when we come to the table to talk about some geopolitical policies as Nigeria to be affected positively. We can talk about that. And of course, we have leverage. That is what America has on other countries too. And sometimes they pull it and they get a very, very positive response. So we can use that. It's a leverage for the country. Economic-wise, if we're expanding our revenue base, it is good. Now, we can equally forecast the production, the economic productive power of these countries that we are advancing powers, electric power to. And we can put them side by side with what we have. I do not buy Olumide's idea and say Ghana is doing better and Ghana is better off. No, please, Ghana is a small country.
He's talking about power-wise.
Yes, power-wise. Nevertheless, he said they celebrated 10 years. I don't think they'll be able to celebrate with their current capacity. They can even celebrate 2 weeks if they have more than 200 million population and the number of businesses in the country. So please, let's not even compare Ghana with Nigeria. So they are equally depending on us.
I'm talking about population.
Hold on.
Population is a great indices. I'm trying to bring us back to the conversation of
talking about population, and let's look at India also.
Before you bring us back, let's look at it via what we are generating, both from gas, both from oil and everything, and what Ghana is generating. Now they are generating based on their population and what they have available to them.
How many megawatts are they generating?
Nothing. It's serving them.
It's serving them.
So based on our revenue, based on our numbers, we should by now have gotten our ass right.
Chooks, do you really think...
We are not comparable, we are telling ourselves some business.
Chooks, do you really think the current Nigeria as it is only being upheld by 5,000 megawatts?
of electricity. Do you really believe that?
No, now see, this is what I see. Individual generation is not part of that, because what we are talking about is what is getting through the national
grid. Yes.
Every day Nigerians are burning generators. Nobody's adding that to the national grid.
Yes.
Because it's coming from individual pockets. Industries are burning diesel on a daily basis.
Yes.
Now, solar panels are springing up. Some solar farms are also available.
Yes.
But right now, we are looking at our ability to say, okay, good, we want to industrialize. And for us to industrialize, we don't need 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 megawatts. We need at least
100,000.
100,000 megawatts.
No, we don't.
Present in this country.
Present in this country, we don't need 100,000. We don't need 100,000 megawatts for proper industrialization as it is now. The best, if we can get 60,000 megawatts, if we can get 60,000 megawatts, you will see the reflection of that in our economic power. You will see the
too much. If we can get 10,000, we'll see the reflection.
No, because you mentioned 100. That's why I had to bring you back. But now, that notwithstanding, let's look at it from this perspective.
Okay.
Recently, the government talked about adding 4,000 megawatts to the national grid.
How are we going to transmit that?
Of course, the government cannot just be talking of that without putting transmission into consideration, because transmission is very, very important and critical. Because it's part of, if not the problem.
In the last 3 years,
give it to me.
We've seen investment.
We can crucify the government for that.
No, we're not crucifying.
No, I'm not saying you are wrong if you crucify the government.
We're looking at where investment has come into in the last 3 years. I don't know if you're getting it.
Yes.
We've seen serious investment in generation, majorly coming from private and some other global and international organizations.
Yes.
Serious investment in generation. Serious, massive investment in generation. We need to see the same form of investment in transmission.
That is why I'm
heavily controlled by the government.
That is what I'm telling you, that look, the government knows where exactly it needs the input of foreign investors. The government knows it. And if the government is going out to sell bonds, most of our bonds are oversubscribed. The government knows it. The government just needs to know and to be intentional of the fact that, look, we need to do something about our transmission. Because if we are not even transmitting the 10,000, 12,000, or 15,000 megawatts we claim that we are generating, or that we are getting at the moment, if they go back into the national grid, would that in and of itself is not going to cause some form of technical problem and challenge?
It's just a waste.
It's just a waste. But wastage also means that we're not getting any benefit from it, and the waste of it is not just going to be wasted that way. It's going to cause some form of damage, economically, technically, or otherwise.
The generating companies will take the loss because
they will take the loss. So we should prevent such loss, because these generating companies too are also beneficiaries of this massive support that is coming from the federal government. So if the government is going to be advancing that kind of sustainability and financial assistance to the generating companies, then it also, if you can channel those financial assistance to providing infrastructure that can take care of transmission, won't we be better off? That's exactly what we are saying, I'm trying to say. And if the government knows exactly where we need FDI, it can equally speak with its foreign partners who have the ability and willingness to come in with their funds that, look, we are channeling these funds to generating transmission infrastructure. That is going to be our focus, because we cannot just be saying we are delving towards industrialization and not give attention to what is going to oil the wheel of industrialization. Transmission. If we are not doing well in that aspect, that's what we need to tackle currently now as we speak. But there is also other advantage now that we are connected to what's it called now? To the West African bloc. $1 billion, or about 1.4 trillion. I think that is small, but it's a good place to start.
Okay, so let's look at, okay, good, we can't generate this amount. Okay, we can't transmit this amount. Okay, what we can't transmit, let's send to West Africa.
I don't think the government is going to send out what we can do to Africa, because local industries are going to die completely. And I don't think
what we cannot transmit.
What we cannot
transmit. What we can, but what we cannot transmit, we send to.
How do you send it? You still do transmission.
There is a line that is responsible for that.
That
is not going to put the burden on the internal domestic transmission lines.
So I think it's enough for the government to make statements. The government, sometimes, most especially the Minister of Power, should bring to the table these GENCOs, and their conversation should go beyond supporting each other, but how to deal with this transmission problem. If the GENCOs are not doing it, does not have a problem with that.
Are not responsible.
So then we'll get the transmission companies to sit with the government and let's handle that problem. Because
transmission companies is government.
Is government?
Yes.
Just look, if you are heading a transmission company, you are unable to provide a solution. In fact, it stops at the buck stops at the table of the Minister of Power.
They will still point their hands to government and government budget and say, okay, good, we've had these transmission lines and substations since time immemorial. How many have we added in the last 10 years?
Some of the bonds that we've sold that are oversubscribed, the government will tell us from the beginning the funds are going for XYZ purposes, right?
They should.
They should. Okay, so the money we are making from the Niger Republic and some other African countries that we knew recently, they are owing Nigerians, they are owing Nigeria tens of, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, where are we generating the monies that we make from power transmission or to these nations? What are we using it for? If we have a transmission
that particular question should go to
Adelabu.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you're listening.
Okay, if you are out there who've been on this table and who've been looking at how can we make sure that transmission companies that have been built, a lot of money has been sunk into these particular places, they start making profit. And for their ability to also get connected to the national gas line as fast as possible, we want to see this development, not now, like yesterday. We want to see more people get into this particular sector. I want to see people that have decided to say, okay, let's come in and generate. Let's not have that regret that, no, we can't, after building these facilities and they just stay there and there are no ways possible to start work, to start generating, and to start making earnings. That's very important. This is Souk News. We talk development. We talk business. We talk finance. We talk money. At the end of the day, we talk about your table too, not just this one. How is it affecting your spending power? Yes, now we'll go to our next story for today, and it has to do with the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. What's happening there? Now, the Minister, OYETOLA, he has raised concerns over the damaging impact of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing across West Central Guinea, Gulf of Guinea. He said such activities rob the region of vital economic opportunities, threaten food security, and endanger millions of livelihood reliant on marine resources. OYETOLA made his remark in Lagos during his acceptance speech after being elected chairman of the Conference of Ministers of Fisheries Committee for West Central Gulf of Guinea. His election came at the 16th Conference of Ministers hosted by Nigeria. Now, the minister also emphasized the urgency of regional collaboration in combating this illegal activity, illegal fishing. Noted that marine governance is key to unlocking the full potential of Africa's blue economy. He pledged to lead coordinated efforts among West African states and member states to protect marine ecosystem and ensure sustainability fishing practice for long-term development. Okay, people of God, as we speak here. How long are we going to sit and talk about this illegal fishing? Trawlers that are not registered, not flying Nigeria or African flags in the first place on our waters. How long are we going to talk about this, knowing fully well that is happening even as we speak? Is it the minister that should be telling us what to do, or the minister should be doing what he's telling us?
I think it's the latter that should happen. Now, I'm glad that he's coming out to even say it. I mean, for a while now, I've been wondering what is happening in the blue economy, what is happening in the marine economy. And there was a time he came out to say, I think maybe the allocation they were getting was not enough, or something like that. I can't remember that story. But it's a good thing.
Should he be generating money or be waiting for, is he like state governors waiting for fact too?
It's a regular norm that we've so much accepted, which is wrong. I thought that the marine and blue economy, when it was created and all that, it would generate so much. It will be competing with customs. It will be declaring so much profit. The way Port Harcourt Command of Custom was doing and all that. But, well, we seem to have found ourselves in this. I think this also boils down to picking cabinet ministers. Before you pick certain people, you should know their portfolio, what they are able to do. Because when you pick someone who does not align with your own vision, at the end of the day, that particular sector or that particular ministry just remains stagnant. Now, since he has come out to say that there's illegal, unreported fishing and all that, what is this next step? In all this, I was expecting him to say that, oh, this is what he's going to do. He's going to partner with Navy. He's going to partner with this, that, and make sure that there's some form of security along these borders and all that to ensure that this is well curbed. But maybe they have already done some meetings and they're planning to put something in place, which I'm hoping that we will get. But until that, I feel we should be getting results instead of complaints at this point.
We should be getting results instead of complaints at this point, you say. Okay, Priye, let's break it down. You happen to come from a fishing community. You just chuckle. Now, we know very well we see it for those of us that are here in Lagos. Fishing is a way of life for a people. Now, for a nation, most people don't also understand that for certain countries, fishing is part of their major contributor to their national revenue. And we've been blessed with coastlines as far as from Lagos all the way down to Akwa Ibom, across the Calabar, down to the Cameroons. We have not been able to utilize this natural blessing of ours. We're still looking at oil, which for now should be a shame to us. Why are we having ministries waiting for government subventions instead of being the ones contributing to the national income?
Well, it depends on the body language or the economic disposition, economic body language of the man of the M of affairs. At the M of affairs, most of
I don't know about the minister or the president.
Most of the ministers are going to, if they are independent-minded enough to present a blueprint of development for their specific ministry, or the specific area that the ministry covers, and they present that blueprint. That is why most times cabinet members, is that some of them would have been picked before the man wins the election. Others are going to be picked after he has won, because some ministers are going to come from those who...
Political parties?
From political parties and from other political heavyweights who actually contributed immensely to making you the president or you the governor. So they are going to want to have input to select some people that should be in the cabinet. The political party is going to have theirs too, and as the president or the governor, you two, you are going to have your people that they should all serve that purpose. So before then, some people that are going to be picked by the governor would have been told, this is what I need you for, and this is what I need you for, whilst you're contesting. So you're already drawing a blueprint. Oh, I'm going to be heading the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. Then you start looking at the Lake Chad region. You start looking at this specific region we are talking about now. The
Gulf of Guinea.
The Gulf of Guinea. You start looking at that. You start looking at the influence that we wield as a country. You look at your relationship, the relationship that you intend to build with the Nigerian Navy and the Nigerian Marine Police, and they will come in handy as an instrument to facilitate, to also explore that part for the good and the economic returns of your country. These are things that you should consider. I think the former governor of Osun State is just making a political statement that is going to go down well, though he's just been made the chairman of the Conference of Ministers
blue marine economy for that region.
Yes, another political position.
Yes, it's just making a political statement for us to think, yes, I am doing something good, I'm working. No, if it's going to be protecting illegal fishing, unregulated fishing, and all of that, probably you should start looking at the Niger Delta, how the activities of multinational companies who are running oil companies and what's it called now? How the pollution and the decimation of that land has prevented the owners of those places, has destroyed their primary source of income, which is fishing, fish farming, and the natural habitat of those places that serve as a veritable source of income for the people in the Niger Delta region. If you look inward first, and let us take care of those areas. If you look at developing the inland waterways transportation system, then we can now say, now that you've appointed, because he can't even do that alone, he's going to do that in conjunction, in collaboration with other ministers of blue and marine economy from those other countries, because we have lots of countries from the Gulf of Guinea, spanning more than 10, than the few that we have at the Lake Chad. The Lake Chad currently now, is almost under the control of non-state actors from all the countries that borders the Lake Chad area. So if that is what he's saying, that is a military affair. Okay. You should work with the military to take care of that, so that the military of all the countries, most especially the navy of all the countries in the Gulf of Guinea, should come together and launch out a very heavy assault on illegal fishing and illegal, unregulated fishing and uncoordinated fishing, the IUU as it was said. Then we can equally borrow a leaf from that. Then you can now liaise with the government and go speak with the multinationals and say, look, I am the Minister of Blue and Marine Economy. The people of this region, they are very, very critical to, they are very, very significant and important to the source, the way and manner Nigeria earns its foreign foreign currency, whether in oil and gas. So we have to take care of this land. You can liaise with the Minister of State for Oil and Gas, Lokobri, and that look, we need to put this environment in order so these people can go back to fishing. We can't just take away their jobs from them. Let him look inwards and take care of that, and not boastfully make statements that will just fall to the ground.
Okay, you're talking about statements. The federal government, both during the tenure of the late president, they came out and said cleaning activities and exercise was going to start in the Niger Delta. We saw the beginning and photo ops. We're still waiting to see full implementation. This same government have said the same thing too, but we're waiting to see the full implementation.
This current government went to tell them that, look, we are going to resume oil exploration here and drilling. That's what it said. It didn't mention cleaning.
Yeah, they mentioned cleaning of the place and reclamation, but we're still waiting to see that. But now let's talk about foreign trolleys that are filling up African waterways. Unmarked, unflagged, unregistered trawlers fishing in our waters. And we have, just like you said, we have the Navy there, we have the Federal Marine Police, we have every of this set of people. And the sad part is that we are importing more fish into Africa, into Nigeria, than we are producing domestically, which still means the same thing that we are sending money away.
Before you get Olumide to speak, can I just read out the name of the countries that we have here and imagine if we have a convergence of the navy of all these places? Okay, we have in the Gulf of Guinea, we have Angola, Benin, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Nigeria, Republic of Congo, Sao Tome and Principe, Sierra Leone, and Togo. That's about 15, 17 countries. So let's 10 of them bring in their naval ships.
Okay, now let's
on that Gulf of Guinea, let's see if we are not going to, those on flagship, if they are not going to suffer destruction.
Let's break it down.
What are they doing?
Of all these countries, the two major ones are Cameroon and Nigeria. Others are not that big. Okay, Ghana. Others are not that
big. DRC Congo?
Yeah, Congo is not that big.
Togo?
They are not that big on military might. But notwithstanding, it's more of a collective. If we come together, then these things can be checkmated. We should now start asking ourselves these particular questions. Why have we, over time, decided to rely on importation of things that we can really get from our waters? And the sad part of it is that a lot of this illegal fishing happen in our waters.
True.
They leave and send it back to us. And we pay
processed.
And we pay FX for it. So we should be waiting to hear OYETOLA address this particular issue. I said, this is what we want to do. This is how we are going to handle it. This is what we want to start hearing, not the complaints, not telling us what we already know that is already on ground. We want to start seeing development of businesses. We have Nigerian trawlers. We have Nigerian businesses operating in these waters too. We want to see a lot of them empowered with policies that will give them greater access to these waters to really do their business.
And you know, fish is getting expensive in Nigeria right now.
You are importing them.
Well, even the ones that we buy here, Priya and I normally discuss that there's this fish we always like to buy, catfish of like 15,000 naira, and you know.
A lot of those are farmed though.
Yes, they were farmed.
They are farmed. But at a point, these fish were not this expensive.
Yes.
I mean, back then, 3-4 years ago, fish was like 3,000. I remember back then, 3,000, it's this size.
Yes, back then, $1 was 150.
So how was
the dollar to do with the catfish you farm?
Can I break it down for you? The same person that is selling the catfish and farming the catfish will buy fish feed. A lot of those fish feed, we also have to get the formula from, thank you very much, and they will send their children to school. And every other government economic indices is also going to affect them. They also attend the same market with you. So their product will also have to come apart for them to sell and make profit.
I think we need better surveillance. It's sad that the Navy and all their people are, you know, on these waters. And I don't want to go to that route that we've heard some non-state actors accuse the military of colluding with some elements, I mean, in regards to oil bunkering and the rest of them. So I don't want to go to that route. But I believe that more surveillance needs to, you know, be put on these waters to ensure.
Surveillance, reporting, arrest. We have a lot of Asian trawlers on our waters. Let's get to see the ones that have been arrested.
Arrest and destroyed.
No, don't destroy.
Okay.
Don't destroy. We need the trawlers.
Okay.
Don't destroy.
Government can take possession of it and we use it.
Now you're talking. Okay, now we'll go straight to our next story for today. Remember, always be there. Now, this is a public service announcement. So everybody, please pay attention. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has issued a public alert over banned BLEDINE infant cereals produced by Danone Group due to contamination concerns. The cereal was found and were found to contain aflatoxins B1, a toxic substance that failed to meet European safety standards, raising alarm about their health impact on infants. NAFDAC confirmed that the affected cereals are already in circulation. Note again, these cereals are in circulation in Nigeria already, particularly in border communities near Chad. The agency has called on the public to avoid consuming the product and urged vendors to withdraw it from shelves immediately. Surveillance and product testing are being intensified to track the distribution and remove the contaminated badges. This incident underscores ongoing concern over product safety and cross-border regulation. NAFDAC has issued Nigeria a swift action and advised caregivers to be vigilant, checking labels and purchasing only certified infant food. Now, this is one particular area we should really put our eye and open our mouth and speak when it comes to importing things, consumables majorly for children, for kids. We shouldn't be quiet about it. Thank you, NAFDAC, but we wish this came quite early before it got on shelves. It got on shelves. Thank you very much still, but hey, everybody be vigilant out there. And if you see it, report it.
It's a good one from NAFDAC. Sadly, we should have gotten this earlier on. So in going forward, I think NAFDAC can partner with other health agencies in West Africa, so that there can be some form of intelligence sharing and all that, so that when something is detected in a particular country, it is being shared with Nigeria, because we know that most of these things all find their way to Nigeria, even with so much effort that custom is doing, trying to prevent a whole lot of these things coming in. They still find their way. I mean, these smugglers, they know they have their routes that they take. So it's a good one from NAFDAC. I think that they also should not just, apart from this statement, they should do some form of commercial on all media houses to play this kind of, I call it a jingle or something, telling people. The National Orientation Agency should also take part in this. There should be some form of collaboration, send text messages to people to let them know. Health centers should also be aware in educating some of these nursing mothers and pregnant mothers that this is and what
avoid this product.
Avoid this product. There should also be some form of inspection going on in different pharmacies, supermarkets, and where all these infant foods are being sold. Major markets like the one here and every other ones around in Lagos, and not just in Lagos but across the country. There should be some form of inspection, not only inspection. If any of these things are found, it should be burnt immediately. I think that's one of the things they need to do.
Remember, the product is BLEDINE. It's an infant formula, BLEDINE from Danone. So please pass that message out there. Once you hear, pass it out there. And it's a batch that's been contaminated, but me and you know that we don't have the facilities, to test it. NAFDAC does. So you don't know which one exactly. But for now, just stay away.
It has a harmful, you call it banned BLEDINE, BLEDINE infant cereals for containing harmful toxin, aflatoxin B1, which, according to the report you read, is failed food safety test in the United Kingdom. And it's now found its way not only to Africa, and it has found its way to Nigeria. Just the way we have Interpol work together, just the way we have the police, the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, collaborate among regional countries, among nations to work together. That's how we expect the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control to work with their counterpart in Ghana, in West African region and other African countries, and of course not only in the continent of Africa, in the Americas and in Europe also, because it's going to tighten the noose for these things to come through the conventional entry points like the Nigerian airports or the seaports. It's going to stop it totally, because if they discover that in the UK and communicate, just they should have a platform,
yes,
global platform where they just put these things on red alert that this is a no-go area because it contains this, that, and the other. Then it's not going anywhere. If it's immediately it's communicated to NAFDAC in Nigeria straight.
They communicate to customs.
To the Nigerian customs, the ones at the airport and the ones at the seaport. It's there. So immediately you see it like this, you take possession of it for the purpose of destroying it, please.
Take possession and if possible, arrest.
Arrest.
Yes.
Sometimes these persons who may be importing it, or the businesses that may be importing it, may not know that that announcement has been made. Probably they made the, what's it called? The purchase before it comes. But when it is known, then you make it, there's a route, a channel of communication that these things should be made known. But we also know that the conventional, even if the conventional entry points nip at the bud, it's going to go through the unconventional means, crossing the borders. But the thing is, the customs, they are still going to check some of these vehicles, or probably they don't check.
Okay.
For these things to come in.
I feel there should be some form of communique also sent to customs of all contrabands, banned goods, and everything, so that while they are also conducting their inspections at the port, they have a list updated regularly.
What they are looking out for.
What they are looking out for. Because sometimes these things are stuffed inside cars. We know how these smugglers, they stuff them inside the backseat of
into
cars.
Other goods that can allow to pass through.
Yes.
And these things end up in the shelf. The other thing is, now that we've received this message, we've told the public, those businesses who actually purchase this and it's on their shelf now, will feel like, getting rid of this I'm going to be losing money. So they might adamantly leave it on the shelf. That is where
NAFDAC is presently saying that they are on the streets and in the market, and they are checking up shops to make sure this.
Can NAFDAC alone cover Lagos, let alone 36 states?
Well, at a point in time, NAFDAC was able to get the services of not just NAFDAC staff, but local government staff to also join in. Because every local government have a health department.
Yes.
And it's easy for them to also join in the crusade. This is where communication is now very key.
Yes.
Everybody needs to be part of it. And now also remember, for those that buy health products, infants, formula and drugs in large quantity, you can't buy without being assured of quality test. Quality passed test. So nobody will claim that he's ignorant. He bought the product and is ignorant that something is actually wrong with that particular product. So please, let's all, business is good, but profit over life is a no-no from us on this side. We're still talking health matters. The Lagos state government project it can generate over 400 billion annually for healthcare financing if, that's a catchphrase, if 20 million residents subscribe to its health insurance scheme. This was revealed by the Commissioner of Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, during the launch of Lagos Private Health Partnership, LPHP, a major reform targeting insurance penetration and improved healthcare delivery. Abayomi explained that the target is based on an average annual premium of 20,000 naira per person. With the current low enrollment rate, he stressed the need for widespread awareness, public-private collaboration, and trust in the healthcare system to drive participation. The project is expected to serve as a vehicle to achieve this goal by leveraging private sector expertise and innovation. The initiative marks a strategic move to reduce out-of-pocket spending, increase healthcare access, and build a sustainable funding model for public health service in Lagos. Projected 400 million or 400 billion if 20 million people register.
Yes.
Do you see the possibility?
Oh, I see the possibility, but this is insurance, and
Yes.
it's only enforceable when you fall sick, right?
You can draw when you fall sick, not enforceable.
Okay.
You can draw on it when you fall sick.
You can draw on it when you fall sick.
When you're sick. Yes.
Okay. So what about when they are not sick? Remember we had this conversation.
It's 20,000 annually.
Okay.
Just annually. If you get into that particular 20,000 is good.
Yes,
now,
it is.
For those that are wondering, we have covered the Lagos State Health Service Commission for a while here on Souk News, and we can tell you for sure. Now we have an issue with population and the amount of people assessing that is on the side. But when it comes to delivery, they are not at par with other states. Other states are still crawling. They are way ahead of other states when it comes to healthcare delivery in Lagos State. So if they are going forward to say, we can do more and we can do better if we have more people signing up for this healthcare insurance, then I think we need to find a way of trying to see how we can make it work for the state.
It should work. But we also have to look at the trust in public health institutions.
Okay.
That's one. Awareness.
Awareness, that goes a long way.
Perceived poor quality healthcare. Most people would rather prefer to, if financially buoyant, go to private hospitals because they believe that the public ones, you might not be attended to in time, this, that, a whole lot of thing goes on. But it's not all health centers, not all public facilities that are like that. So that's why I said there's this form of limited trust in public institutions. And for them to be able to achieve 20 million people, they have to now do more on awareness, inform people, let people see that these facilities, and it all still boils down to local government allocations and all these allocations being directed at the channel to the right things. These allocations that are coming in should be channeled also into healthcare, so that when people see that primary health care centers are well improved, I can say that
primary health centers in Lagos State are working.
Is it only Lagos?
No, but we are talking about Lagos State right now, because this particular story is stemming from Lagos State.
Yes.
It's Lagos, right? How many?
Well, for all that I've visited a lot of them. They are working.
Yes.
Like we said, the issue right now is the proportion of the population versus the
are
healthcare.
Yes.
The healthcare
services, workers.
20,000 naira. We also have to look at the bracket of people who are trying to capture, the formal or the informal sector.
Everyone.
For the formal sector,
they should make it open. They should make it
formal
open.
sector, I think, because most of the people, blue collars or people working 9 to 5, they have some form of health insurance or thereabout, HMOs and that. So them, switching to this kind of health scheme might not necessarily be burdensome. They might even see it as a better or fair, gaining more. But now, if we move over to the informal sector,
if you look at class, that's where another issue is going to come. Well, that class differentiation. Do I want to pay 20,000 naira for health insurance yearly when I know I'm one other health insurance firm that I'm working in, I'm paying like 100, 200,000 naira, and I'm treated like a VIP, and I'm sent to those VIP clinics or hospitals. So that is now personal choice.
Personal choice.
But on an open field,
informal sector, the barbers.
So I think this is also, it's suitable for, because normally civil servants should have
insurance.
Yes,
that's the law right now.
So this is now for people who are in the informal sector, like he is trying to say, who don't have, or for organizations that feels they can't pay 50,000 or 100,000 naira, like you were saying, to be treated as VIPs, and they have staff that they should cater to, because they should cater to. Any organization that does not cater to the health needs of its staff cannot be talking about productivity, because you can't speak with one side of your mouth that give me productivity, I need you to give me value, and you are completely blind, or you turn the other way around when it comes to their health benefits. You are not doing what is required, and I think the government should start picking them out, doing that, because if whoever does this is doing the right thing for productivity, it is hard for people who are working. Either you are selling stuff in the market, you are earning daily income, you are in the informal sector. I believe this will be done in a way, if it's 20,000 naira annually, it will be done in a way it can be paid 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
It could be done in a way that is paid 2 or 3 times, so that even those who are running a small kiosk shop can afford to pay 7,000 naira and pay 6,000 naira. Maybe in 6 months they can cover that, and they know that they have their health needs for that year sorted out.
But then again, we also have to now look at what are the available incentives.
What services will that cover?
Services is true, because there are some services that they might tell you that this 20,000 will not be enough, but it's very, very difficult, because out-of-pocket payment is very, very inconveniencing.
Not just very inconveniencing,
it's not advisable.
Very
expensive.
Very expensive.
So I think it is a very, very good initiative. It's a very, very good initiative. However, I think that to a specific level, maybe the Lagos State government should come up in order to tackle the same challenge that Chuks is raising about population. Some people may not want to subscribe to the category of 20,000 naira annually. What if some people want to subscribe to the category of 30,000? What if some people want to subscribe to the category of 50,000?
100,000.
Or 100,000. So it should be at least 3 or 4 categories. It's not about discrimination. There are some health centers that fit into that category of 20,000 naira people, or some would have fit to the category of 50,000 naira annually, and the ones that can do either 70 or 100,000 naira annually.
I think that they should now focus on children, schools. That should be one of their children, schools, the elderly.
Yes,
the senior citizens.
The elderly
in Lagos.
They shouldn't pay.
The elderly shouldn't even pay.
The elderly should be covered. Now, in Lagos, I'm talking because we've done several reports on that. Now, for Lagos, on the island, you have 2 hospitals for children. On the island here, you have Island Maternity, and for most people, that's in Lagos State. You have the Mercy Hospital too.
Yes.
They are building a permanent place. And these are all Lagos State hospitals. For those that are not aware, you are not charged when you go to these places. You only pay for the drugs that are also subsidized. Then if you're doing a surgery, it's still kind of better compared to the private services. And when there are referral issues, the private places will refer you to these facilities. But now we are looking at how do we expand the health workers in these places? How do we increase their numbers so that they can cater for more?
Their numbers are few, Chooks.
For more people.
Yes.
Lagos is big.
Yes, and their numbers are few, and the crowd can be very, very overwhelming. And for people who are on the verge of where there is an emergency, they give priority to people who are in emergency.
They all have
but
emergency
it's a beehive of activities, and we think that the government can really open up that space. So with 400 billion naira coming in, if it's going to be achieved, I think it will be it will be a laudable, great initiative for the Lagos State government to really expand its health program. And this is where other state governments should be taking a cue, because there are human beings who are running the government in Lagos. And I also think we have human beings who are running the government in other states. They should be thinking about the welfare of the people in their society.
It's a wake-up call.
That is a major wake-up call. We will be looking at another story. So, hey, just stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We're going to a very short break, as short. And when we return, we'll be right in your face. Don't go anywhere.
Take Nigeria, because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souk business landscape.
My name is Shino Gbadegeshin. I'm the CEO of Gozi Micro Insurance. Continue to watch Souk News.
Adenike Adeyemi, Executive Director of Faith Foundation. Keep watching Souk News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoy you all to always watch Souk News TV.
Hey everyone, Majuli Obaje here representing Gigi. Keep watching Souk News, okay? Stay updated with Souk News.
My name is Aton Keme. I am the head of MSME banking. Please keep watching Souk News and stay glued to Souk News.
I recommend that more and more people should watch Souk News because they deal with business news.
Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching Souk News.
Take Nigeria, because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souk business landscape.
Welcome back. It's still Souk Business Landscape, and now to our last story we will dwell on for today. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has fined Qatar Airways 5 million. 5 million only for violating consumer protection rules, particularly regarding the treatment of Nigerian passengers. This action marks a firmer regulatory approach by the agency towards international airlines operating within Nigeria's airspace. The sanction was revealed on Wednesday by NCAA Director and Public Affairs and Consumer Protection Michael Achimogu. Via post on X, formerly Twitter, he said the fine follows months of investigation into incidents that occurred in September 2025, where the airline was accused of failing to meet obligation under Part 19 of the NCAA Regulation 2023. NCAA had earlier raised concerns over Qatar Airways' handling of delays and passenger care obligation. Industry observers say the penalty signals NCAA's intention to enforce compliance more aggressively, ensuring that airlines respect passenger rights and adhere strictly to Nigerian aviation standards. They say the way you treat yourself is the way they will treat you outside. So for a while now, we've had Nigerian passengers not treated as other passengers on the same flight.
Yes.
Typical example, you have a delay or you have to do a shift when you're flying out of this country.
Yes.
And you get to the airport, other passengers from other countries are ushered to a hotel.
Yes.
And they will leave the Nigerian passengers in the airport till you get your connecting flight.
Yes.
And for a long time, nothing has happened. When should we start seeing that shift? When I saw 5 million, I first thought, was it 5 million per passenger on that particular issue? Or just 5 million for the airline on these issues? When are we going to start seeing this regard for being a Nigerian passenger flying international flights?
I think this is a good start. We can increase it more. We can try and do better, because this is what will improve airline accountability. Because once these international airlines, you know that they cannot treat us anyhow because they stand to be fined, sanctioned, or restricted, or even banned, they would, think twice in handling Nigerian passengers. Because just like you said, this thing has happened to my mom before. Even right at the airport, she said they came to check her passport, because she was flying to Cyprus. And, at that point, it was kind of rare to see Nigerians going there. So they kept on asking her, what was she? And she said she's just going there for a training. And the white guy, according to her, came to check her passport, even told her that, okay, it's a connecting flight. When we get to Susu, you will not be able to, be allowed to move around. They actually told her everything. And she said she didn't just, she just kept quiet. So it is something that I've heard.
So you got to the country and she stayed in the airport?
Yes.
No accommodation for her, but every other person were given accommodation?
They told her before she...
They told her before
she entered the plane, before she boarded.
And she paid the same amount of fare with other people?
In some cases, you even pay more.
So it is something that Nigerians have always experienced, and they've complained about it. But I'm glad that this is a start, and I believe other airlines should also, do. And it is something that I feel that it will restore some form of confidence among Nigerian citizens that, yes, our government is actually fighting us, because other countries don't take this kind of thing. We shouldn't also, just like you said, the way you treat yourself is the way others will treat you. If they see that we actually treat ourselves well, that we regard ourselves, they will not try and mess with us.
Okay, let's take this from a different perspective. Years back, we had Aero try flying international. They tried it. There was a lot of bottlenecks, and that stopped. Then in this dispensation,
they were unable to do it.
Airpeace came up and pushed, and the government supported them. And now Airpeace is going to the UK, Airpeace is going to the US, Airpeace is connecting some African countries, and Airpeace is solo flying to Brazil very soon. Are we seeing this as a turning point for the way Nigeria and Nigerians are being treated in that particular sector?
This Festus Keyamo is not a pilot. Neither was there any experience in the Ministry of Aviation. But he's a very sound lawyer. He fixed it. And it is, when you mentioned the first instance of Aero contractor, and you made reference to this, I would just tell you that it's the difference in government. Just the difference in government. And a minister who knows what to do, who is driven beyond. We've done the politicking. Now we are in power. Let's govern. That's what came from Mr. Keyamo. And the administration, if you want to assess the administration in aviation, at least to an extent, you cut him a slack. Now, no, leave him in this aspect. He's doing good. We want it to be better than what we have, but he's doing good. When Airpeace came,
the fight, we were watching the drama. Before we could fly to London, to the UK, you saw what he had to leave for that meeting. He went for the meeting. And they went to the archives to bring out documents and brought out documents that gave both Nigeria and the British Airways the liberty, that the documents that facilitated both flights to come from Nigeria to the United Kingdom and from the United Kingdom to Nigeria, that we can actually take advantage of that document because he was a lawyer. So he invoked out that document. And for the fact that they were charging, the amount of money they were charging Nigerians that fly these routes, APS came, disrupted the market, was charging a little bit low. That's competition. So they looked, the way they looked at us, like inferior people, it's wrong. And well, now we're not. So we need more participants, stakeholders, investors in that space. Because tell me, if we do not have a national carrier and we have domestic airlines that can fly these routes, the competition will be hot. It will be hot. It will be tough. Nigerians abroad will need to wait for 30 December before coming back home for anything. They will come and they will leave. In fact, they will just be coming and be frequenting the country in and out the way they like, because it will be something that they can afford.
Okay. I think this would also send a signal to the international communities that Nigerians will not tolerate, poor.
Maybe 50 million naira would have sent a strong signal.
It will also enhance customer service quality, because now these airlines know that they have to take customer service really serious. And if passengers know that I can actually sue a particular airline, I can actually get a redress if I do not feel comfortable flying with your airline, I think that would also send a message to these airlines that we need to actually treat these people. Because whether we like it or not, globally, there's nothing like color. Let's face it. A human is a human, globally. So I think we need to now start to see each other as that, whether black, white, or red, or any other color. We are one. We should all be treated fairly, no matter what skin or color.
Chooks, this is just one. There are several others that the NCAA needs to find. And probably when they are finding this time, maybe they should find them in dollars.
Okay. While you're looking at finding them in dollars, Molumide said that globally there are no skin colors. Well, we will say it this way. When it comes to business, you're either paying in your currency, or you're paying in dollars, or you're paying in digital currency. But in all this currency, there is no color on it. What you pay is what the next person pays. So you can separate and classify the next person's payment and treat him better than the same payment you got from the other person, and you expect him to be quiet. So, hey, Nigerians, Africans, we'll say it this way. If you have flagship carriers in your country, congratulations. Patronize them. For those in Nigeria, if you are flying international and you have flagship carriers in your country going that route, patronize them. They will treat you way better than others will treat you. And it's easier for you to stand and talk to them harshly or nicely or mildly, because you can relate and they can relate with you. We look forward to better days ahead, better business. Remember, business grows when aviation grows, because that is the flight that carries people, goods, and services around. This is Souk Business Landscape, and it's been a pleasure being here and knowing fully that you're on the other side and part of this production today. Be your neighbor's keeper, we always say that, and nobody is more Nigerian than you. My name is Chooks, John Rogers Chooks. Be good and have a beautiful day.
And I'm Oyimpriye Krumale. Good morning to you. Many thanks for watching.
And I am Olumide Shokoya. Stay tuned to Souk Business, Souk News TV. I beg your pardon.
Think like that, because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Said is going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market, or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Souk Business Landscape.
Fellow Nigerians, Did you know that constituency and executive projects in your communities are not gifts from your legislators? They are projects sponsored by the legislators and funded by the federal government to improve your life and the lives of those around you. These projects belong to you. Without your vigilance, they might never be completed. Don't allow them to fade away into unfulfilled promises. Stand up, take ownership, monitor their progress, demand accountability, and report concerns to ICPC. Call our toll-free line now on 0800-2255-4272 or WhatsApp only on 0806-656-4726. This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, with support from MacArthur Foundation and the Center for Democracy and Development in Africa, CDD.
Known as the father of African literature, Chinua Achebe was born on the 16th of November 1930 in Ogidi, now Anambra State, eastern Nigeria. He was born to Isaiah Okafor Achebe, a teacher and an evangelist, and Janet Anenichi Iluebunam, a vegetable farmer. Achebe has reshaped the global understanding of African identity through the power of storytelling. Raised during the twilight of colonial rule, Achebe's education was steeped in both Igbo tradition and the Western values of post-colonial Christianity. As a student at the University of Ibadan, he became fiercely critical of how Africa was portrayed in Western literature. Achebe believed that Western literature often painted Africa as a dark and primitive continent, but he sought to tell the African people's lens.
The rise and fall of Nigeria Airways is a story steeped in mismanagement and missed opportunities. Established in 1958, Nigeria Airways, the national carrier, initially soared as a symbol of national pride. However, a series of missteps led to its unfortunate demise. In 2008, financial mismanagement became its Achilles' heel. The airline became bloated with an oversized workforce, hemorrhaging money on profitable routes while neglecting crucial safety maintenance. These issues stemmed from a lack of transparency and accountability. The government, as the majority owner, failed to implement proper checks and balances, allowing mismanagement to foster. Weak regulatory oversight likely played a part as well, with instances of impounded aircraft due to unpaid debts and safety concerns raised by international bodies. Ultimately, the crippling debt burden proved unsurmountable, forcing Nigeria Airways to cease operations, leaving a void and a valuable lesson for the future. This lack of transparency and accountability isn't unique to state-owned airlines. Several privately owned airlines have also suffered the same fate. Effective corporate governance including robust financial management and adherence to safety regulations, is essential for any airline to succeed. The broader lesson here is the critical role of corporate governance in the aviation industry. Effective management, robust financial strategies, supportive economic policies, and modern infrastructure are crucial for the growth and success of airlines. Addressing these challenges requires a concerted effort from both the government and the private sector to foster a conducive environment for aviation to thrive. Corporate governance is a multifaceted discipline that encompasses a wide range of processes, customs, policies, laws, and institutions that influence how a corporation is directed, administered, and controlled. The primary goal of corporate governance is to enhance economic efficiency with a strong focus on maximizing shareholders' welfare. Effective corporate governance has been linked to improved organizational performance, a fact supported by numerous studies. For airlines, factors such as board compositions, management practices, and regulating compliance significantly impact performance and operational efficiency and customer satisfaction are paramount. Robust corporate governance ensures that airlines operate transparently, ethically, and in alignment with both regulatory standards and stakeholder expectations. This is crucial for maintaining public trust, ensuring operational sustainability, and achieving long-term profitability. Across the Atlantic, one airline consistently ranks among the world's most profitable, Delta Airlines. What propels this country to such heights? The answer lies in its unwavering commitment to strong corporate governance. Delta's governance structure is robust, featuring a strong independent board of directors. This board comprises individuals with diverse backgrounds, skills, and experiences, ensuring a wide range of perspectives in decision-making processes. As of December 31, 2023, the board includes 10 independent directors and 2 non-independent members, one being the Chief Executive Officer and the other a nominee from the Airline Pilots Association. Diversity extends to gender, race, and ethnicity, with 1 out of 12 directors representing historically underrepresented groups. Key committees, including audit, corporate governance, personnel and compensation, safety and security, and finance, play critical roles in overseeing various aspects of operations and governance. By bridging the gap between Delta's global success and the realities of the Nigerian aviation industry, a thriving future can be achieved. For regulators, strengthening regulations in Nigeria's aviation industry involves implementing stricter enforceable measures to discourage irresponsible practices while protecting consumers, employees, and investors. This includes a thorough review of ownership structures by setting up minimum competency standards for owners, exploring diversified ownership models, and enforcing stringent disclosure requirements. Regular independent audits should be conducted, extending beyond mere compliance to identify areas for improvement in operational safety and sustainability practices, thereby fostering a more robust and reliable aviation sector. Bayo Olaoye, Souk News.
Traffic regulations are practices put in place in both developed and underdeveloped countries. They are designed to ensure the safety of all road users, reduce accidents, and promote orderly movement. Either you are a driver or a passenger, every road user is required to understand and follow these laws. Under obligations, drivers must possess a valid driver's license issued by the authorized body. In Nigeria, this is the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC.
Individual, like I've just said, most Nigerians, as we know, celebrate their date of birth. And as such, when you obtain a driver's license, says for 3 years or 5 years, you already know if you do it today, in the next